Welcome back to Tea and Toasties. I'm one of your hosts, Sabrina.
And I'm Rich. I'm the other one.
And welcome to episode 19.
19.
It's been a long time coming.
It has.
Long time no see.
Long time no see.
No see for you guys.
Yeah. No
in
hear.
General.
See no. Hear no. Speak no.
Speak no pod.
Speak no pod. You've had nothing. It's been 2 weeks.
Well, technically only a week now because
yes.
the one came out.
Right.
But before that,
well, we've actually recorded for 2 weeks,
yeah.
and then the one that we did record 2 weeks ago, the biscuit one,
yeah,
which I'm sure you're all loving right now,
has just come out.
is coming out today. I've not even heard it, and I usually get the.
Oh, I guess I could have sent
inside
it to you
scoop. Yes, but
it's not too late.
You said it's a lot of just biscuit eating.
Yeah,
and
trigger
munching
warning
and crunching.
at the top if you guys haven't listened to that one
Yeah.
yet.
19.
19.
Got anything about that? Any fun fact?
Nope.
Oh, I've got one. Is it a prime number?
I'm done with that. I don't know. That was wiped from my brain. Just
come on, you can figure it.
The second I learned
is it a prime?
It was wiped away. I don't remember what the definition.
Run the math. Run the math. Come on.
I'm telling you, it's wiped. I don't even know the definition anymore.
You
it's
know.
gone.
What's the point of doing this stuff and educating people on prime numbers if we're not retaining that
We're not
information?
a math pod. We don't educate anyone on anything prime numbers.
It's giving prime.
I don't know.
It's prime.
It's not. What about? Oh God.
Let's move on. We're done with 19.
We're done. We're
right. This is episode 20.
It should be.
Let's just jump there.
Well, we were just talking for 30 minutes.
Right.
On air, live.
Yeah.
But I said it's all that's getting cut.
Why is it getting cut? What was so good in there?
Lots of confidential stuff. We were talking about stealing.
The confidential tapes.
We were admitting to anything and everything we've ever stolen in life.
Yeah, I was getting to the real good stuff. You told me about your girl heist stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not mine.
Well,
I said confidential.
yeah, all right. They just
Mine's
roped
done. They'll
you
never
in.
know.
They roped you in.
They'll never know. No. I've only stolen hearts.
Look at you.
That took a lot to get out.
Yeah, but that was so worth it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's staying in. Oh, I'm doing the edit this week, folks.
Yes, if it sounds different,
I shouldn't have said it.
blame it on Rich.
Yeah. I shouldn't have said it, and then I should have just asked the next time around and said, so is anything different about that app? But now I fucked that up. So yeah, I'm doing the edit. Sabrina's going to show me how to edit because we feel we need it in the back pocket that we both can do that
Especially
job.
after last week.
Yeah, because Sabrina's been ill.
That's why the app, if you saw on the Instagram at Teen Toasties Pod, I posted on the story last Monday at this point that app would be delayed.
Yeah.
It was done. It was recorded.
Yeah.
I just could not get to the edit.
You just couldn't get off the sofa or out the bed.
Which, if you've heard that app, we talked about it. I was getting a little stuffy.
You were a little stuffy.
I was like, oh, it's just allergies probably. And then it was only downhill from there.
it just bloomed into something just bad, snotty and green and mucousy. And
I think just
gross.
a sinus infection.
Yeah.
So that was the main thing with the edit. Like my ears were hurting. My head was hurting.
Yeah.
The brain wasn't braining.
It definitely wasn't.
So that's the catch up there, the recap.
Yeah, so Sabrina's been ill, but she's back to norms. She's all pepped up, ready to go. So that's 2 weeks. It feels like 2 weeks, but it also feels like we're recording. It feels like episode 1 again.
You think?
Yes.
No.
I'm nervous.
I think it's just that we have nothing planned.
I'm nervous about that.
Which Rich usually doesn't like that.
Yeah, I do like a little bit of homework. I don't like to super have it all laid out what we're going to do, but I do like a little idea.
Like a crutch.
Yeah, something to lean on if we're scrambling. I know that we can just get together and yep.
Yeah, that's the whole point, you know?
Yeah. I mean, when you come over and, you come over for work, do you come in with a plan like what we're going to talk about?
No, never.
Exactly.
It just happens.
Yes, so this is that.
But then what we've learned is that we're always talking about stuff that we can't record probably.
You think?
Yeah. Are you kidding me? We're always talking about hot goss and... Right?
Oh.
I mean, yesterday you were telling me some personal stuff about people in your life.
Yeah.
I don't think they want that on the air.
That. Well, actually, I was going to tell you, update on that. So I was up at 6:45 and I thought, fuck it, I'm going to the gym.
Wow.
Yeah. Walked down the gym. I was in the gym 4/7 and I had some gym observations.
before you get to that, are you doing any weight training for your wanting to gain 10 pounds or whatever your thing is?
Yes.
Okay. What's your gym observations? Because I've seen
You got some?
And yeah, the gym culture is crazy.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's partly why I'm like, I'll just stay home.
Yes. I've been observing whilst doing the machines.
Okay.
Seeing what's going on, how everyone does their thing, how they interact.
Yeah.
The reason I went so early this morning is because I've been trying to find the least busy time to go.
That's right. You'd think early in the morning, but not too early on a weekday would be perfect because everyone's at work already.
Yeah, but you get the pre-work crowd.
That's what I'm saying, like not quite 6:45, but even 7 I feel like is too early for the pre-work crowd.
I think you're right, because I think I landed on perfect time today.
Yeah, that's like the time they're leaving probably.
Yeah, leaving the house.
Get ready, or go to work.
And the machines were open. I'm starting with the machines because I don't want to go all hell for leather on the free weights because, you can do an injury and shit.
Right.
So I'm doing more of a controlled thing.
Yeah, I like those too. It's like, yeah, tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Help me.
Yeah.
I hated the gym when I was going.
Which one did you go to?
I used to go to Planet Fitness.
All right. Is that the one with the $1 a month starting plan?
I don't know. I'm still paying and I haven't been in like a year.
Okay. You're investing.
No, but it was like fine when I went. I only went a few times, but I immediately was like, yeah, fuck this. Because some people might love this, but I'm on the machine, like this little arm machine, and my arms are like chicken wings.
They're little noodles.
Yeah, my legs are stronger than my arms, but my arms I'm useless. And I'm doing this machine of like, I don't even know, some kind of something.
Have you actually got weight on it, or are you just pushing the handle up and down?
It's a weight on it, but like 10 pounds maybe.
Right.
Stop it. Sorry, Gertrude. And there's this man, like this huge ripped guy.
A chunky monkey.
Like across from me.
Right.
Chunky monkey. Doing like a machine, but it's like a bicep curl mimicking machine. And he's like,
Putting it in.
really doing the most.
Yeah.
And I see him looking at me and I'm like, because I don't want to be like, do not look at me.
Don't observe.
And he's looking at me and he's like giving me like a thumbs up and like a nod, like, yeah, you got this. And I'm over here like shaking my arms, like doing 10 pounds. And I'm like, do not look at me. Like, I know you're encouraging me, but I was like, that was my worst nightmare. I was like, yeah, I'm just going to go now.
Right.
I just wasn't.
Not gym girl?
No. God, no.
Did you have your headphones on? So you like just says, don't, I'm doing my thing.
Yeah, he didn't talk to me. He just looked at me and gave me like, come on, like, you got it. Like, and I was like, I'm going to kill myself. Like, go away, please.
So you're going into the gym and you just don't want any attention kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get on with it too.
No attention. Yeah. Don't even look at me.
Don't look at me.
It's so embarrassing going to the gym.
I know. I'm there to work out and get out.
Get out as soon as possible. Get me out of here.
Yeah, I was in there for 25 minutes. Got busted around the machines and see you later.
Anyway,
yeah,
that's Gym Corner. I did have a thought the other day of an episode format, but it could be fun because I don't think you know this world at all.
What world? This one we're living in?
Yeah, wake up. No, the world of Reddit.
Yeah, I don't hang out in there. What goes on in there?
I pop in occasionally and then I'm there for like 3 hours because it's crazy over there. But there's all kinds of different podcasts that do this or just different videos. It's a very internet thing to do. There's basically a bunch of different forums and a couple of them are pretty popular. And one of them is called Am I the Asshole?
Am I the asshole?
And it's people writing in saying like, this thing happened. I thought I was fine, but certain people think I'm an asshole. And then they're like, so what do you guys think? And it's always like the craziest scenarios, situations.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like,
yeah, that's
a thinker. Sometimes it's like, this person's just fucking crazy.
Yeah, you are the
thing.
asshole.
Yeah. So those are interesting. There's also one like relationship advice. And it's, people are just like spilling all of their info. It's so fun.
Are they setting up like anonymous accounts kind of, or just fake accounts and then spilling? Or do you think it's...
Yeah, you can do like a fake account, change names, or also like the odds of someone finding your Reddit, I think are maybe slim. I don't know. You can like create any username you want. And it's not like you have a profile picture. It's just like a forum.
I've seen them now and again when I'm asking a general question.
Right, yeah. It's good for Google. It's like you always want to find the Reddit answer.
Reddit one. Because then you're polling from real people. Like opinions are coming in left, right and center.
And like,
from
this
different
happened
people.
to me and this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually always am like looking for the Reddit if I'm searching a question or something.
Yeah, I had one. I keep getting notification on my phone from like Reddit. There's an update. I don't know. I didn't participate.
Oh.
But it was like some reason I keep getting it. It's what to do when a cop pulls you over and you've been drinking.
What?
Weird, right?
Wait, what are you getting? You're getting like a notification of that?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like when someone adds on to that Reddit thread.
Oh.
Yeah.
You've Googled this then.
I may have.
You're like actively getting pulled over. Reddit, help. I'm getting pulled over. What do I do?
What do I do? Can I get away with this? I saw that you can refuse to, because they want to see your ID.
Of course.
Your license ID.
Yeah.
And I saw that you don't have to open the door. You can just like pull the window down to a little slit.
Yeah.
And then you can communicate. And then you hold up your license and ID to the window and they get to see it, where you can just say, right, are we done here? I'm refusing to do the breathalyzer.
Yeah, but you've seen the videos of this and the people that are like, technically the law is I don't have to do anything. And it's like, if anything, you're just going to get in more trouble by doing that.
I would assume so.
Also, I don't think a lot of people realize, maybe they do, or forget. By the time a cop has pulled you over, he's already ran your plate. He already has your info.
Are. Yeah.
Your license is just like a little extra bonus. Then you can just run that and then you can see everything on there.
So he's going to get you at some point down the line.
Yeah.
He'll
also,
knock on the door the next day. My
tactic is always just, just accept it. Be nice, play along, because I've been pulled over before. I've gotten out of stuff, I think, just by
being nice
and cooperating.
That's the key.
Because the second you crack the window, he's like, fuck you.
They know
and
it's
then
on.
He's going to just fuck you over regardless,
Well, the video I saw was the guy in the car was said to the officer, is your body cam on?
Yeah.
He said, I want this on. I want this recorded.
Just the instigating. I hate that.
Yeah, I know. It's creating an issue.
I also get it, though, because I have seen the other side where it is just an abuse of power. Yeah, we all know this stuff. But me personally, like that Reddit question, like, what do you do if you've been drinking and you get pulled over? My thought is always, first of all, I don't think I'm ever drinking enough to where I'm like, oh, like I'm super fucked.
Right.
But I'm like, okay, I could possibly blow over.
Yeah.
But I think I can also hold it together where I won't even get to that point.
Right. They're not pulling you out and making you do
I
walk
might
the
be
line.
able to pass that.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. That's like me. Same thing. I mean, I'm just maybe having one little half glass of wine over dinner.
Sure. But, oh God, there's something. I got pulled over in college. Me and a couple of friends, we were going to a tattoo appointment and I was running late and I was speeding, of course, because I'm running late. And it was from Cullowhee Western to like Canton. So it was like a good, like maybe 30-minute drive. And I'm already running late. So I'm like zooming. And this is back in my weed smoking days. And we're smoking a bowl in the car, passing this bowl around. And a cop, I mean, he had to have been behind me for a good minute. Yeah. And he pulled the lights on and I immediately was like, oh my God, we're fucked.
Yeah, seriously.
Like he's pulling us over because of the weed problem. I mean, there's no way he didn't see us passing the bowl in the car. And the lighter and the smoke.
Yeah.
And I'm speeding. Oh my God.
Because you can smell that shit.
Oh yeah. If you're behind a car.
If you're behind it.
So we pull over and I'm just like, we're fucked. We like put it away. But obviously if he searches, he's going to find it. Yeah. And he walks over, roll the window down, and he like fully like leans into my car. He's like, why are you speeding? Blah, blah, blah. I tell him. And he's like, all right. And he runs my stuff. And he comes back and he just hands me the license. And he's like, okay, you're good to go. Like, I'm going to give you a warning. He knew we were smoking.
He could smell the shit out of it.
He just decided to be nice that day, I guess. Because, but then if he had come and I'm like, I'm not going to give you my license. And I'm just going to barely crack. Because then it's like you're acting super suspicious.
What else is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at that point, I'm like, I've been caught. Then nothing like looks dumber than when someone knows you're lying and you're still just like doubling down on it. It's like you see those videos and you're like, you just look dumb now.
And if really for him, it's probably not such a big deal. Yeah. You guys are in control. Yeah, you're speeding a little bit, but you were in control.
We weren't like...
the kids doing the kids' things in the car.
Yeah, belligerent or... No.
For him, that's probably very small fry.
Yeah.
He's like, can I be bothered with paperwork and such and whatnot? oh, I'm going to let them go.
He could have also been like about to get off his ship. He's
exactly.
like,
I don't want to
want to
mess with
right
that.
now.
Yeah.
I remember my mom got a ticket once or something, and my dad was like, "Did you tell him that you're my wife?"
Right.
And my mom was like, "No, like I didn't want to be that person. Like my husband's a cop," which I get that. But also my dad was sitting there saying like, "No, you should. Now's the time."
Yeah. If you're going to play that card then.
Yeah. Which I get her thing. Cause I mean, I've gotten pulled over too and I never said anything. Like,
you didn't play the card.
I never played the card until after. Then I'd be like, "Hey Dad, can you like get me out of this ticket somehow?"
And did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Every time, pretty much. But there was one time me and Alex got pulled over. My dad wasn't even a cop anymore. And we got pulled over in a different county than he worked. And we got pulled over and the guy runs the thing and my tag's expired, the whole thing. And he comes back and he just says, "You can thank your dad for not getting a ticket today." And I was like, "Who the fuck are you?" But also I was like, "Thanks, I guess." Like, how do you even know that? Also, he's not even a cop anymore. But I was like, okay, sweet.
That happened to Johnette quite a few times. You know, she would be, it would have been some speeding. She would have blown a few times, just usual. Her dad was a state trooper.
Yeah.
And she'd play the card, now and again.
Yeah.
Either play the card or it would be one of her dad's buddies pulled her over and like, "Oh, you should know better."
That has happened too, directly, where like, it's one of my dad's good friend.
Very good friend. Yeah.
That pulled me over. And he's like, "Hello?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, hey."
What do you think about that?
If I'm benefiting, of course I like it, but I don't. It was weird.
Yeah.
It didn't really help me. I still had to go to driving school.
But what do you think about things where everybody should be treated the same way?
Oh, yeah.
Some misdemeanors and things like that.
Everyone should be treated equally, of course.
But then, is it realistic? There's still going to be the favors, isn't there?
Play the system if you can is always my answer. I think.
That the go-to advice for today?
Yeah.
Play the system.
Play the game.
Because everyone's doing that, right?
Everyone's doing it.
And we get the example from the top, the
if
tip top.
If you can, you can.
Yeah.
I'm not into lying, but with those kind of things, certain people, certain situations, certain systems, I'm going to lie and cheat to get my way if I can.
And steal. Calling back to the stealing.
Back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I would.
But all the top people, they're showing us that corruption pays off, right?
Literally.
So
it's also like, yeah, fuck you if you're doing this, and then I'm getting fucked over for it. Then I'm gonna fuck over your system that you set up. Yeah.
Nice
definitely.
guys never win.
Oh, ew. In this situation, yeah.
Yeah. So if a situation presents itself and you're like, well, it's not really going to hurt anybody, perhaps that's the key.
Right.
Who am I hurting?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's also different for everyone else. Some people they couldn't live with themselves.
Yeah, true.
Even if they're the only ones who know
what
they did or the truth or whatever. It also depends what it is. I'm not saying like if you can kill someone and get away with it, do it. Of course not.
That's a different story.
But little things like that. Yeah. If you can accept it and live with it, then do it.
It's not going to keep you up at night. Like little bit of stealing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tax fraud.
Tax fraud? What?
I'm just kidding.
Tax fraud? Now you can definitely go away for that.
I'm kidding.
Anyway, anything that's going to make you just do a bit of time in Alcatraz, I'm not down for any of that shit.
No. Yeah, I'm trying to think of an example. I guess what I just said, the whole cop stuff, but I don't know, because I feel like I've done that plenty of times.
Done what?
Like what we're saying, like
some small misdemeanor-y shit.
Something just because I can. I don't know. I can't really think. Like something that's not going to hurt anyone.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. But not a misdemeanor.
Hang on, but how do we really know? Right, there's the direct. There's the direct. I don't think this is going to hurt anyone. Direct as I can see.
Yeah.
But then what is the ripple effect of that? It's like you may not be aware that it's going to affect someone, 2 or 3, 4 people down the line. You just never know, do you?
It's the same thing with which is the part I don't agree with is people who steal, back to stealing, from big corporations. It's like, yes, fuck them.
Yeah.
Right? Who cares?
Right.
It's not hurting anyone. It's not hurting You know, you're not stealing from a small business, like all these different things. And, you know, like fuck the 1%. But there's the trickle down effect then with like people steal, the prices go up for everyone else.
Right. Cause and effect. There's always some consequences.
Yeah.
There's prices to pay.
Yeah.
Even if you think in your mind, in your world, this is not hurting anyone.
How about this one?
Go.
This is one that I think everyone relates to.
Ooh.
Let's
play.
Is withholding the truth lying? Second is like, oh, they don't need to know that.
In your opinion.
Yeah. Like knowing that will only hurt them. So I'm not going to tell them. But then is that lying? Withholding the truth? It's like,
I think a lie is when you verbalize something that is an untruth.
Okay, here's the perfect example.
Okay, go.
I think this is the one that I always think about, probably because it's like my number one fear thing, right? It's someone cheats on you.
Yeah.
You don't ask them if they did.
Right.
But they never tell you that they did. You never find out, but they never told you because you didn't ask.
Oh, well, no. It's not your
lying?
job to bloody ask, is it?
Is that lying?
Hey, honey, did you cheat on me today?
By them not telling you, is that them lying in a way?
No, that's them.
But they're not being truthful?
Yes.
Which is...
It's not a lie because I think you have to verbalize.
Yeah.
And then...
What if you're living a lie?
Hey, honey, did you cheat on me today? No. Oh, but
That's
what's this? I've got some photographic evidence that you did. That's a lie.
I'd argue, do you think everyone would lie in that situation?
I would argue that...
Right away?
Oh, immediately, just the gut reaction is to say no.
Yeah.
I would say that probably most people would just deny the fuck out of it.
Yeah. The advice I have there is if someone's asking, they probably already know the truth.
Yeah.
And they're just testing at this point to see
Are
if
you a
will just
liar
tell
as well?
them.
So we know you're a cheat.
Yeah.
Are you also a liar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's like you're living a lie. If I'm with someone who's cheated, I need to know because then that's not actually you.
Dude, you're right.
I'm being duped. I'm being fooled in some way, which feels like a lie.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
The phrase you just said right then is, because you asked me, are they lying by withholding?
Yeah.
But then you said they're living a lie.
Yeah.
So they're lying.
You're presenting a false version of yourself to me, someone who's faithful and an honest person, but you're actually not, which is then a lie.
Yes. Okay, I get
Super weird. So then there's that muddy thing that comes to play with a bunch of different stuff. But
all right, let me layer on this.
Go.
Okay. I'll keep playing on this one. So that's just with the partner. But now what if there's a friend?
Okay.
Let's say you're the friend.
Okay.
And now you're in the situation where you found out. And you're friends with both. You know, one of them probably you're friendlier with.
Okay.
What's your vibe there? What are you doing?
I'm always going to tell. There's no world in which I don't. Then there's like, don't get involved. I'm getting involved because at the end of the day, I'm not involved. I can share the info and back away. I can light the grenade and throw it and back away.
Right.
Because then that still has nothing. I didn't lie or cheat. If anything, I told the truth.
You're just giving the information.
I could not. That feels like an accomplice. I couldn't stand by and just know this info.
Yeah.
And then, not do anything about it. Because it all comes down to I would want someone to do that for me.
To do the same.
I would never in any world get mad at the friend who told me.
I'd be like, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you for like saving me a ton of time and heartache.
Yeah.
But would you do this first? Would you go to the cheater and go, hey, dude, I know what's going on here. I know. I'm going to give you a day, 2 days. Go and sort this out. Go and fess up before I have to do it. Would you do that?
So hard to say. Maybe it depends on who and what situation. Like you said, if I'm closer to the cheater, maybe. I still think no, just because I know I've been cheated on. And like you said before, the gut reaction is to deny. They're always going to try to make it sound better than it is, than it actually is, or twist it in some way, trying to get ahead of it in some way.
Because they've probably already thought, ooh, what am I going to say when I get caught? Because they're going to get caught, right?
And it's probably going to be some making it sound better than it actually was thing, or like not admitting the whole truth thing.
But not even just that. They'll probably like thinking, oh, it's not going to be my fault. I'm going to spin it around and make it their fault.
Well, no, actually, she said that because this, yeah.
Or I wouldn't have been cheating on you if You know?
Yeah,
You know what
I don't want them to give them any second to think about anything. Just because nothing better than being caught red-handed. Because then what?
Then it's done and dusted.
You can't say anything. Can't deny.
Yeah.
And like, there's nothing more truth than that initial reaction.
Right.
You know?
Yes, but then you get caught red-handed. Then you're in. Well, this could get bad. This could turn into a double murder-suicide.
Right. Yeah. There is a fine line with that kind of stuff too, though, where I will give people like chances, like something. I'm like, I wouldn't have liked that if I was your partner, but you didn't cheat or all whatever. But then I'm like, do something else. Then I will tell. Because it feels weird to blow up something over nothing. Right. Or over something small.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. If I heard cheating, I would definitely.
Okay. Very slight twist again to pretty much the same situation. But you're very friendly with, like, you've got a big buddy. They've got, another half. But it's now your buddy is the cheater. Yeah. Are you going up to, you're not going to your buddy, you're just going straight to the buddy's partner and going, my friend is cheating on you.
It's so hard. Right?
What's going on there?
That's the situation where I probably would do what you said of talking to my friend first and saying, like,
sort this out.
If you don't, then I will.
Yeah.
But do it first. Because that's back to the, like, I couldn't live with myself knowing what I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can only live with this for like another day. Yeah. Without blowing up. So if you don't solve it before that, I'm going to have to, just to get it off my own chest.
Right. You know? Yeah. Because it's eating you away.
Yeah. I knew, I'm not going to drop any names, any scenarios, but friends who had a friend in the group that was actively cheating on her boyfriend and would bring the guy she was cheating with to hang out with the friend group. Jesus. And someone in this group was telling me about it. Obviously not they were like, this is crazy. And I was like, do you know all of you are accomplices in this? Do you not all feel like pieces of shit? How are we okay with this? You can come to me and talk all the shit you want, but at the end of the day, you're all just allowing this to happen by hanging out with both of them. Like, that feels so gross to me.
Enabling.
I'm like, and no one in this group of 10 people is telling this poor guy that they're going to turn around and hang out with the next weekend with her. That then feels like, because I'm imagining being the boyfriend. How embarrassing.
I know.
And then that feels like not even a betrayal of your partner. All your friends who you thought were your friends.
Yeah.
That to me would be enough to write off all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
You just hung out with this and let this happen.
Yeah. You knew.
You didn't tell me.
Yeah.
Then let me be an idiot and come and hang around again.
Because you're going to feel silly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, thanks for that.
No.
So all those times we were hanging, you knew and you didn't say anything?
Yeah, it's gross.
Oof.
Woof.
Getting into it there. There's some good hypotheticals. This seems like a good ethics episode.
Yeah. I have another scenario.
Go.
This is something that I did. I want your opinion on this.
Ooh. Real life. High school stuff, so it doesn't matter. All right,
water
done and dusted.
Water under the bridge.
You were a different person.
Sure. My boyfriend at the time, I was suspicious. He had cheated before, whatever.
Right. So he's got form.
Yeah. And just my gut, for some reason, I just had a feeling something happened.
Red flags.
And I knew nothing. I didn't go through the phone. I had no info. No one told me anything. I was just going purely off of a gut. And I was like, let me just see if I can get this out of him. So in a way, I'm now being the manipulator because I go up to him and I say, I know you did this.
What was that your approach?
I said, I know you cheated on me. I know you did this and with this person, and you might as well just tell me because I know. Did
you make that up or did you have evidence of that?
No evidence.
You just made that up?
I'm making up. I'm saying what I think happened if it's true.
Right.
And he's denying. And I'm adding further things. No, well, I heard from so-and-so.
And had you?
No. I'm like, well, she told me.
Right.
So you might as well tell me because I know. Or I saw it in your phone, actually. I'm presenting
Right.
truths. They're all lies.
That could be true. Could be.
And guess what happens? He says he admits it. He admits it, finally. After all this prying of fake things that ended up being true.
Ended up being true. That's a weird one.
He admitted it because I just pretended like I knew it was true.
I mean, that's just, the cop shows where they have the witness in the witness room, in the interrogation room, and and they have nothing on him. Absolutely nothing.
That's fucked up. I don't like that.
They just got a feeling this is our man, or they need a man. I hate that. They need
that
one.
Scares me.
They're like, you did this.
No, I hate that.
You did that.
And that's actually like crazy psychological stuff, because then they start believing that I did this. Yeah, no. And they twist their words, stuff like that. I don't like. But
do you think so? The boyfriend, he actually did do this?
Okay. Oh, yeah, he actually did do it.
He fessed up to this.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
is that? Because afterwards, I was like, obviously, I felt like, wow.
The ends justified the means in that situation.
I felt proud of it.
Yeah.
But then looking back, I'm like, oh, that was so manipulative. But then I'm also like, but you were the one ultimately in the wrong.
What would happen? Let me ask you this. What would happen if he would have continued down the line? He would have just deny. But you gave all this. Where would that have left you to?
I have no idea.
Right.
Because at that point, I was so in it that I was like, I'm never not going to die on this hill.
You were fully committed, yeah.
Yeah. I probably would have pretended I believed him and then went through the phone.
Then done the things that you
just never
said,
trusted him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you had enough gut feeling to really go after that bone and not let it go. And like, I'm going to get this out of you. You are going to admit.
Yeah.
And then he fessed up.
Yeah. And it wasn't just like okay. It was like he started crying and was like, yeah, I did. Like, so it was totally true.
Was it with the girl that you thought?
Yeah. Like a situation had happened and I was like, I know something happened.
Okay.
Like you're telling me something didn't, but I know something did. So I had all the details.
Okay.
Basically.
And you had...
And then just my mind of what could have happened to go off of.
So he had past form. He had he had previous. He had opportunity.
Yep.
Crime
of opportunity.
He did. He had the situation presented itself.
Yeah.
And then you put that with that. And you thought, it's very possible that they have.
Yeah.
And all I've got to do now is ask him and I can get him to crack.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think you saved yourself a lot of time.
Not really, because I stayed with him till forever. But now, I don't know.
So you forgave him on the cheating?
Definitely not. That was never.
All right, you let it pass.
I was young.
All right.
And stupid.
Okay. But you cracked the case.
Yeah. I was pretty proud of myself.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Which comes down to really, no one is as unaware as you think they are. Everyone,
what do you mean?
Like people who lie think they're getting away with it, and it's like usually always obvious, or like cheater, like, and they're like, oh, they think they're so slick, and it's like, no, it's people are pretty observant.
There's a lot of tells.
People are observant as well. Like,
yeah.
Like me adding up that whole scenario in my head, knowing nothing, except like 2 details. Not even. It was like he had given a girl a ride home from work. That was it. That's all I knew.
Did he tell you that?
But I was like, yeah.
Okay.
But I was like, why? You wouldn't do that. All these things. I'm adding up. Like, all these things are adding up. And then I'm like, yesterday you were texting on your phone and it looked suspicious. Like, I'm putting all the things together. Like, you can't.
That's your puzzle-y.
That's what I'm saying. You can't get by me. I'm clocking every little thing.
That is your mind.
Yeah.
That's where it works in your advantage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why I keep doing it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm overthinking, but it's okay. It'll help me.
Well, yeah, it's
in other ways.
Like it hamstrings you in some ways. You can't sleep at night and stuff like that. And, but you've got if you've got this gift, let's call it a gift.
It's like me being paranoid. It's like it's for the better because I'm aware of my surroundings constantly, which is in the end gonna help me. Yeah, keep me safe.
Yeah. That's what that is.
Yeah.
That's why you're doing that, is because you perhaps you see yourself as, I'm very vulnerable, I'm small, I'm snatchable.
Yeah.
I've got to be very aware of everything, all my surroundings and who's who. That's maybe why you do that observing thing.
Yeah. I mean, the time we got followed into our Airbnb, I was like, this guy's following us.
Yeah.
Which is what I think about literally everyone.
But sometimes you got to be right.
And then it was right that time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. And no one else in the whole house was even aware of him. So I was like, thank God I'm over here
being the
paranoid
observant,
24/7.
paranoid one.
Yeah, because I ended up being right.
But if a lot of people just don't, but if they know that you're going to do it, then you're the paranoid one.
I'm taking
Sabrina's
all
got
the
this.
weight.
Yeah.
I'm just in a straitjacket, freaking out in the back.
Yeah. Everyone else is chill. We're having a nice time. You're clocking everything. But what I'm saying is it's a gift and a curse.
Definitely.
Or it's serving you, but it's serving you.
Yeah.
Currently.
It is. And also I'm learning after trial and error, or after like a long enough time, what works, what doesn't.
Yeah.
I've let off a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I know what is realistic and what isn't anymore. You
Right.
know, I'm not going to lay awake at night thinking someone's going to come in through the window.
Right.
Like that's gone.
Excellent.
Because that's never
Excellent.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like certain situations like that, I've been able to put to rest.
Right.
Because I know it's not.
Right.
Now it's more, okay, that's why I like true crime so much. Is because I need to know every scenario that could happen, that
Easter
has
egg,
happened to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So then I know, okay, I'm not just paranoid. This could happen. Or if I'm in some situation, I'm like, well, some girl was also in this exact situation and this happened to her. So I need to know everything so I can prepare for everything.
Preparedness is everybody wants that. But do you think sometimes if you not over prepare, but you can scare yourself into a situation where it's not really, if you just run the numbers and you go, okay, this happened to her.
Yeah. I think the difference comes down to the intuition and the gut feeling.
Okay.
Because there's the difference, I think, is people who are just like afraid of everything versus me being afraid of all these scenarios. But I can be in a situation where something has happened to someone, but I know it's not going to happen to me, or I don't think.
Yeah.
Gut.
Yeah.
But then there are the times where like seemingly nothing is going on.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, I have this weird
That's good.
gut feeling about this person or this situation is shady.
Right.
I don't know why, but I feel sketched out a little bit.
Yeah. You've got to follow that.
Yeah. So that's what I listen to more than anything. And then once I start getting that feeling, I start planning. Okay, if something happens, like where are my exits? What's my plan? You know, stuff like that.
I think that's sensible.
But I'm not doing that 24/7. Usually only when the gut instinct comes up.
And I think the gut instinct is also drawing from like past, not just experiences, but also from the things you've read and heard. And it's kind of like, because it's just survival mode. That's what you've got going on.
Yeah.
And I think yours is ramped up.
Yeah, thank God.
You know, your survival mode is ramped up.
Yeah.
Because you're just snatchable.
It's me, yeah.
And that is what you've always done.
Yeah.
Is to do the thing that's going to make me the safest.
Yeah.
And if that means I'm clocking everything and thinking about everything and listening to my instincts, then that is what you do.
You can't be gullible.
No.
In that way. Like, accept it. Know where you stand in the ecosystem.
Yes.
And
what am I good at? Yeah. What are my skills? You know, have you just, back to the gym, with your noodle arms and things like, are you going to be able to fight?
Yeah. I'm not going to be like, no one's going to get me.
Yeah.
I'm so tough and nothing's going to hurt. And I'm like, no. Someone could easily just pick me up.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, so then I have to prepare for that.
Yes. Yeah. Perhaps preemptively you're looking for, you're aware that something could happen, so you're predicting it before it does, so that you're able to exit that situation before the shit hits the fan.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're all doing, in survival mode, and we just use our attributes, what we have.
Sometimes it's like when you're with a man who doesn't usually think about these things, and I've been with a dude and then been in a weird situation where I'm like, something is going to go wrong.
Yes.
I'm feeling something in my gut, but I'm with the dude who's just like, ooh, everything's normal. And I'm like, he's not even aware.
He's not aware of it.
Not even thinking about anything like that. And I'm over here like about to have a panic attack over seemingly nothing.
Right.
And
then you're probably thinking, should I bring this up? Am I being silly here? Or, But then if the dude who's like, I'm just getting on with my night, doing my thing, is unaware, then if you were to bring something up at that point, then you've started that.
You don't want to say it in the moment because then that person is there.
Exactly.
It's like when I was in college and we were having a party in someone's dorm room with all this alcohol, and I wasn't even drinking, but me and another friend, we went out of the dorm to like nearby woods to smoke. And on the way back in, we saw a cop sitting at like one of the benches outside the dorm. We walked past him and I immediately knew he's following us.
Okay.
We're walking up the stairwell and I hear him a couple flights down behind us. Echoey stairwell. I can't tell my friend, hey, pick up the pace. There's a cop behind us because he's going to hear me.
Sure.
But I know, but I can't do anything. So I'm just trying to go faster, hoping she keeps up. She is completely blissfully unaware. We get to the dorm and I'm like, door's locked. Banging on the door. I can't yell, hey, there's a cop behind. Please open the door. Because that's obvious. By the time they let us in, the cop is knocking on the door, like right behind. And I was like, as soon as I got in, I was like, guys, there's a cop, there's a cop. Boom, 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 knock. Everyone got caught, busted, all this stuff. So like that situation where I knew.
You knew, but
I couldn't do anything about it because the person was right there. So it's like if we were with someone who's sketchy, I'm like, hey, this guy, he's going to do something. And then it's like, that's the scariest feeling where it's like you can't, that's when you just have to plan in your head.
But do you think that, I get the planning, but there's so many scenarios. You can't plan for each and every scenario.
No, but at least be aware, like knowing or thinking something might happen is still a little bit preparedness than being completely blindsided.
Oblivious, right? Oh yeah, true.
Even if you have no plan of action, but just being like, even just mentally being prepared for something is a big deal.
Get ready, find your exits. I'll be out of here very soon. Should shit hit the fan. Now, what if you're getting the spidey senses? You're like, in some situation, something's happening. I'm not enjoying this. I'm getting a bad vibe. And you mention it to someone, a dude who's with you that night. And because you've mentioned it, then the dude is reading the room, and then decides to make the situation, you've then created the situation that wasn't there. It was bubbling, but it hasn't happened yet. And then it's then moved it forward quicker.
No, see, I would read the room before that to know, is this person going to escalate something?
Right.
Then I probably won't say anything. Because they're probably the person that can hold down the fort if something does escalate. Also, I don't hang out with people like that. Typically, we're gonna fight or do something like that. If I'm telling someone, I hope it's like just so that they are aware of something in their head as well.
Right. Be prepared.
Like, hey, I had this feeling, or just like put me at ease a little bit here.
Let's remove you from the situation.
Yeah, if we're both aware, then I feel better than if I'm just like holding all of the panic.
Yeah. Yeah, share it.
Yeah, because I think I've done that before where I'm like, hey, I don't, or like this person.
Bad vibe.
Weird vibe, or a little look or like something to share somehow. Yeah.
And then you can both say, or the group can say, let's close out. Let's move on. Next bar. Leave the situation. And I think that's, it's easier said than done, but sometimes it's the best thing.
We went to that bar and I was like, everyone needs to leave now. And you were trying to play pool.
Okay. Yeah.
As soon as I walked in.
Yeah. It was definitely a bad vibe.
But I was like, I'm going to leave. But I was like, I need everyone else to also leave, please. Or I'm not going to stop thinking about this.
Yeah. And that was the right call.
Everyone leave. Yeah.
I was chatting to my buddy's video chat the other day, and we were talking about how we all were at school and what we did to fit in. The main goal through school, learn shit, but is to survive, right? Survive and not get pummeled.
Yeah.
So they said to me, I remember you at school, Rich. You were someone that could bounce around between groups. Yeah. I could talk to that group. I could go talk to that group and this group and basically just spread my chips out.
Yeah.
Not have everything in one corner.
Yeah.
And I could just talk and be friendly and be friends with all sorts of people.
That's your survival method.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of people just have their different skill sets, toolkits to get through shit.
Yeah. It is different, the school dynamic for boys and girls. I think boys is more so like, I need to not get beat up. And girls, it's like, I need to just fit in socially. Yeah. Which is like more tricky.
Yeah.
Because it's rare that a girl is going to just fight you. Yeah. For no reason, or
you should have been an asshole
to solve a problem. There were plenty of girl fights, but I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be friends, let alone make enemies with a girl who likes to fight. Like that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was more social, like the stealing thing that was before we started recording. I was like, this is what I have to do to fit in. I did not steal.
No.
But I was witnessing stealing.
Yes.
And I didn't say anything or do anything because I didn't want to be the one that's like, because then it's like, is she a rat?
Exactly.
Or she's a loser? She's weird. And I was just going along with it to like, not be
on the out group.
Yeah. But then I think when I got older, the survival was not even to be in a group because it was like more at stake. And I was like, I'm just going to like float on by in the outer area, keep to myself because then nothing can happen.
Yeah. Safer.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's also, if you think about it, that's all you have as a teenager is school. You don't work. You don't have really hobbies outside of school. It's your whole life.
Yeah. The drama is there.
So your job is like, I am football player. I am cheerleader.
Yeah.
I am this person.
Yeah.
And you keep up with
That's your identity.
Job.
Yeah.
And you just do it. You do everything you can to do it.
Yeah.
And if, you're doing it every single day for 15 years or whatever it is, 14.
That's all you know.
It's like, I might as well make it somewhat enjoyable for myself.
Yeah.
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 Ugh.
Oof. I don't miss that shit.
No, God, me either.
And then I think, does that carry over to, those skills, those ways to survive through school? Does that carry over to adulthood?
It definitely does.
Yeah, right. Like, am I still the person that will talk to anybody? I'll go talk to that person.
I mean, you definitely obviously grow and change, but like, think about any person that you don't like hanging out with. Why? And it's because they probably still have that trait from high school that you don't like. The guy who thinks he's way funnier than he is, the class clown vibe.
Yeah.
Of like, God, this guy's so annoying.
Right.
He's probably just still doing that because he thinks that's going to
work.
That
worked. It worked then, it'll work now.
Yeah. Or the girl that thinks she's hot shit or whatever and just talks shit about everyone.
Right.
And you can't trust her. She still does that probably.
Yeah, but you get to
just
a point
like
and that shit wears off.
Probably float around and you are friendly with everyone, which is what you were doing back then.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The good traits, if those stick on, those are fine. But yeah, like you said, that shit wears off.
Yeah. You can't.
Hopefully people learn, this isn't high school anymore.
Right.
This isn't working for me. I got to change.
Yes.
But sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
And you still meet those people. That's where like peaked in high school comes from. It's like, you obviously peaked in high school.
Right.
Because you're still like that and still chasing that.
Yeah.
Feels great in school. And because it is awarded so highly in school. And then you get into the real world. No one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
And you have to learn that. No one gives a shit.
Yeah.
If you're the smartest one in the room, no one cares. It doesn't help you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can't stay in it.
Well, there's so many seasons in your life, so many chapters, and I think you should always be growing and evolving. You know? I like to think I'm kind of just like like a website under construction.
Yeah.
I'm never going to be the finished thing.
Yeah.
You're just always trying to evolve. And take what served me, use it, keep it until it doesn't, and then move on.
Right. If you feel like you've peaked at some point, change, do something else, go for another peak. Don't just be like, oh well, that was my time.
Yeah, I'm only good at that. That's all I can do. Yeah.
No.
I like the idea. It doesn't matter what age you are. Is if something's not working for you, then rip up that script and you make the change in your life. Yeah.
It's funny, like the whole peaking in high school thing. Looking back, there were like adults in my life when I was in high school who I would be like, God, I hate this. This sucks and all this stuff. And they were like, high school was the best 4 years of my life. You're going to love it and you need to enjoy it. Oh, it was so fun. And looking back, I'm like, oh. Like, yeah, that makes sense for you. Okay. Of course you thought that.
Because they were probably one of the top dogs at school.
Yeah, and you're still thinking you're writing out that personality.
Right.
And it's like, oh.
Makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But it also is sad to me of like, oh, God, what?
I know.
Because I've met a lot of older women who are still, I'm like, oh, you still think that you're like sorority girl, leader of the crew vibe is what I'm getting from you.
Okay.
Like manipulating people and being like that, you can keep doing forever.
Right.
You know, you don't have to drop that once you leave high school.
Yeah.
You know the dynamics and you know what works.
Right. So
you can keep doing it.
Keep doing it.
And they do keep doing it.
Yeah.
And then the people who were the followers still are followers when they get older.
Yeah.
Because that worked for them too.
Yeah. Oof. I might need a pee.
Okay.
TBH, because that coffee's gone through me.
Sweet, this is a good time to pause.
Yeah. I knew we could do it.
Look at us. We've done it. We've pulled something out of our ass.
I know. Tea and Toasties is supported by Alphabet Art Photos.
Hello, Governor. Have you ever walked into a room and felt like something was missing in it? You know, that one blank wall that just screams for attention, but you have absolutely no idea how to fill it?
Oh, I know that feeling oh so well, y'all. It's like you want something unique and personal, but everything you find is just, well, generic.
Spot on, geezer. We have the perfect thing for you. Alphabet Art Photos is a small biz on Etsy that's sprucing up wall decor with their niche alphabet photography.
Yeah, I hear those folks create beautiful personalized art by using photos of everyday objects that resemble letters of the alphabet. Y'all can spell out your's name, a favorite word, or even a meaningful date, such as a wedding, graduation, even when you folks get to retire. It's like having a piece of art that's truly yours.
Imagine strolling into your living room and spotting a sorted, personalized piece that not only fills the space, but also kicks off a bit of conflab, innit? It's a brilliant way to dazzle your guests and make your gaff feel more like, well, you.
And Lord, it don't stop there. I reckon Alphabet Art Photos can transform any room. Your office, your bedroom, heck, even your kid's playroom into a space that shines brighter than a silver spur on a brand new pair of my dancing boots.
Also, supporting this lot means you're supporting a vibrant small business on Etsy. You're not just buying art, you're investing in someone's proper dream. And I know they'll be chuffed to bits.
Well, I do declare, if you're chomping at the bit to turn those blank walls into a masterpiece that reflects who you are, head over to Alphabet Art Photos on Etsy. Trust us, your future self will thank you.
Yes, mate. Make your space uniquely yours and let your walls do the talking. Use promo code TNT30 at checkout for 30% off your order of Alphabet Art Photos. That's etsy.com/shop/Alphabet Art Photos. Promo code TNT30.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
No. We've had our break.
Yep.
Tinkletown.
Tinkletown. Yeah, I thought it would be interesting, like we just talked about. We're on this little moral dilemma kind of train
love
a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe popping into Reddit, seeing if we can find some interesting little dilemmas.
Lead me into the Reddit world, please.
So there's two forums that I read the most just because they're just juicy and interesting.
Interesting.
First one obviously is Am I the Asshole? Everyone knows that one.
Love that.
And then relationship advice.
Right.
Which is similar to that, but it's only to do with a relationship.
That sounds good. That's what's a lot of juice in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to read you some of these titles.
Yeah.
And then we'll see if there's any that spark.
Something jumps out for us. All right.
Okay. So let's see.
Are we going with the asshole first or the relationship?
I'm in the relationship one now.
Okay.
We'll do both and then decide maybe.
Okay.
Okay. This one just made me laugh. Oh my God. My 24 female, husband, 23 male, faked fainting after I gave birth.
Okay.
Now, why would he do that? He faked fainting? Theory, he wanted the attention.
No.
It's got to be something
I don't
more.
think that.
Let's get into it.
All right, let's say, can I ask a question?
Sure. I don't know the answer, probably.
All right. Does she give the information? Do we know?
Oh, it's like that's the title and then she goes into it.
Oh, so let's get, I like this one.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, yeah, give us the details. I want to know first off the bat is how does she know he faked that?
Right. Okay. Maybe he admitted it. All right, here we go. Or, I mean, you're in a hospital. The doctors are probably like,
That's not a real faint.
yeah, get
We
up.
know what a real faint
Your vitals
is.
are fine.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. My husband and I have been together for 5 years. I want to start out by saying that, despite his quirks, my husband is genuinely sweet and hardworking. I truly believe he loves me deeply, tries his best, and has always dreamed of being a husband and father. That's why this whole situation has left me confused and conflicted. We got pregnant a bit sooner than expected, though it wasn't entirely unplanned. In the first trimester, I was lucky to avoid nausea, but the fatigue hit me hard, especially during my final university exams. I had a nap for 1 to 2 hours every afternoon just to function. At the time, we didn't know that this kind of exhaustion was a normal pregnancy system, and I was so focused on school that I didn't think much of it. Meanwhile, my husband quietly started resenting me. He thought I was being lazy because I wasn't keeping up with the housework, which, except for the dishes, was mostly my responsibility. God. Yeah. Thankfully, a friend asked if I'd been hit by the tiredness and explained that it's important I rest. He seemed to understand, sorry. But I guess it bugs me that faced with his wife being utterly exhausted, his first reaction was to think of me as lazy and be annoyed rather than concerned. Throughout the rest of my pregnancy, his attitude often felt off. He would get annoyed by what I thought were small requests, like bringing me water before bed, and complained about the size of my pregnancy pillow. While he always apologized later on, if I let myself get sad about it, I felt like there was something he wasn't saying.
Yes.
Friends told me to enjoy the pregnancy pampering, but I didn't experience any of that.
She wasn't getting any of that.
He treated me the same as before and seemed irritated when I couldn't keep up. Despite everything, I had a fairly easy pregnancy physically, and emotionally I responded very well to the crazy levels of estrogen, making me quite happy and hopeful. I stayed upbeat and tried to be as pleasant and positive as possible. During this time, he started getting really into these men's experiences during pregnancy podcasts and would vent about how no one considers what fathers go through, which I sympathized with. Then came the birth. After a long and sleepless labor, I needed an emergency C-section. I gave birth around midnight, and since partners couldn't stay overnight, he went home. I stayed awake with our newborn for a 4th night in a row. When he returned the next morning, he told me he had fainted on the way home, showing me how dirty his jacket was after falling. I was concerned, but I was so depleted I could barely even process it. During our hospital stay, he brought food and held the baby while I slept, but his attitude still felt annoyed. I chalked it up to stress. Then came the newborn phase. Our son was colicky, I was exhausted, and we argued constantly. I couldn't be my usual sweet self, and I desperately needed emotional support. He, on the other hand, seemed to want sympathy too. At one point, it had been 5 days since the baby had a bath, and he inquired of me, annoyed. I didn't turn on my filter, and I said, "Why don't you give him a bath then?" He responded with, he didn't know how, and I was upset. I told him to Google it.
Yeah.
He felt overwhelmed working 3 to 4 hours a day and microwaving meals twice daily, so researching baby baths was apparently too much.
Oof.
I ended up taking our baby to all his appointments alone because my husband looked so irritated when tired that nurses started asking questions. I could say a lot more, but here's my main concern. Recently, we revisited the topic of my pregnancy and our son's birth. I told him I felt unsupported. That's when he confessed that he lied about fainting after the birth so that I would feel bad for him. He apparently only slipped on ice. He felt ignored and unimportant during the pregnancy.
Okay, there's the crux.
Every time he talked to friends, they told him to focus on supporting me, and he started to feel invisible.
Okay.
While I understand the desire to feel seen, to lie about something like this when I truly needed his support feels deeply hurtful.
Yeah.
I explained that being a supportive partner is not meaningless. It's actually a vital, powerful role. He was remorseful, but I don't know if this is expecting too much from him. Things are better between us today, but honestly, I don't think I want him with me the next time I give birth. I feel like it'd be easier to mentally prprepare for it doing it alone than to split my emotional focus between giving birth, the baby, and managing his feelings. Damn.
Whoa. There's a lot to unpack. A few things jumped out immediately.
Yeah.
And when you mentioned a little bit down the line, well, we got to the point where he did feign the fainting. He lied about that.
Yeah.
Because that was the headline, right? So, I think expectation levels were way misaligned there.
Yeah.
she was expecting way more from him.
Yeah.
Probably just baseline normal, like just some support, please.
Yeah.
And I feel that he got jealous. The attention was moved away. I don't know what their relationship was like before, but perhaps in his mind, maybe through the podcast where dudes were talking about, dudes' experience through pregnancy.
Those podcasts need to end.
Mm-hmm. That perhaps he thought, well, this is the end of me, because once, the baby's on board, then I'm not going to get any attention.
It's weird. He let himself get resentful.
Yeah.
Which is the problem. And she knew it. She said he was feeling resentful. So then him not telling her that, how he was feeling, and just taking it out like by getting mad and being frustrated and pouting almost like a baby. Mm-hmm. That didn't help. And then her not saying anything about it also.
Not bringing it up.
It's a funny thing of like, oh, you're both going to be parents and you're both equally involved, which is true. But not when you are the pregnant person, it is a bit more like, hello.
I got a little bit more going on over here.
Should have realized that.
Yeah.
Without, getting resentful about the attention not being on him. He just doesn't have any. The emotional maturity there is low. It
sounds that. I don't know what he was expecting either from the whole situation. Yeah, perhaps he liked the idea of being a dad.
Yeah,
but didn't realise that he had to offer this support. Now, if he had stepped up and offered the levels of support that she was expecting, or gone above and beyond, really pampered the shit out of her. Yeah. It sounds like that's what her friends were saying, this is what he should be doing. Had he done that, don't you feel that he would have got some of that attention that he was actually craving? Because she would have then gone, talked about her husband, like, you won't believe what he's doing for me. And then he would have felt that.
That is the dad role.
Yeah.
Sorry. At that time.
Exactly.
That's all you can do.
That is basically, he can't carry it.
Yeah.
He can't have it.
All you can do is support.
The support.
During that time.
That is your role.
It's crazy to me to know that your wife has just had an insane procedure of a C-section. That's an insane surgery. And to go home and on the way home be like, that's not fair. She's getting so much attention. Yeah. I'm going to pretend to faint so that she's worried about me, stressed, all these. Why would you want to put your partner through that? To not be able to separate the two of like what makes her any different than me is crazy in that situation.
Yeah. He definitely didn't unself. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He was just in his own mind. What does this mean for me? He wasn't thinking about them as a couple. No. And also the dynamic of the baby coming into play and what that's going to mean. I think he just thought, I'm going to be on the outs here.
Yeah.
He probably didn't want that. Yeah, what about me kind of thing.
And instead of talking to your partner about it, he goes to a podcast. Let's see some comments here. This person says, why would you elect to have another child with someone this immature and unsupportive?
I was wondering that.
This person says, he's sweet and loves you deeply. Every single thing you told us in this post says otherwise. He's an uncaring twat with zero empathy and zero concern for your well-being. I don't understand why your standards are so low. You should consider him a loving man, but you describe him as being outrageously selfish and unloving.
I mean, there's always two sides to every story. We've heard hers. I mean, we can't hear his, but I mean, I'm kind of guessing what his is. His side of the story is just perhaps he felt useless.
Yeah.
And perhaps that really took a stab at his masculinity.
It also could be what were his expectations, like you said.
Yeah.
And before getting pregnant, so many people in their lives were probably saying like, you guys, this is going to change your lives. And you guys are going to do this. It was very them as a unit. And so he was like, wow, this is so special for us. And then when it was just her,
she was getting all the attention. He didn't know
how to deal with that.
Yeah. But
these kind of things, I like to say the signs are there before, but it's a scary scenario to like, you don't know how people are going to react to certain things until you're in it.
True that.
And if it's this,
true that.
If someone's perfect and amazing, and then you realize when you have this experience for the first time,
they're untested.
Having a baby,
they're untested,
and you're like, oh wait, what the hell?
Yeah,
you can't turn back. You already had the baby. It seems though that this kind of behavior shows up in other areas. So you have to think, okay, if they're like this in this situation, are they then going to be in a situation where it really matters, like this one,
Yeah. Are
they always kind of thinking about themselves and what about me kind of vibe?
Yeah. But do you think though that, you know, you could transfer, okay, they act like this in this situation, therefore when they get to that situation, same. However, there are some very extreme situations where people do freeze.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, I hadn't expected you to react like that.
Yeah,
you
that
know?
I can understand and accept, I think.
Okay.
The freezing. But this was like active,
ongoing,
purposeful, weird stuff going on. I can see maybe not showing up in the ways your partner needs you to in this way because they're unprepared. They're overwhelmed. They got, you know, all these different things that happen as someone who's about to become a parent for the first time, right? But then to actively like be against your partner is scary.
That is scary.
You know? Because he wasn't just not doing certain things out of unawareness. He was actively doing things to manipulate and really scary to me.
I know.
And like, that's probably why she came here, because she's like, this is a small weird thing that happened, but it makes a big impact.
Yeah.
Where you're like, is this worth a divorce?
Well, she hasn't asked that,
I know.
right?
She's planning to have another kid, seemingly.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Okay, let's move on.
I like that one.
That's good.
Yeah. Let's find another one.
I'm on Am I the Asshole?
Okay.
Am I the asshole for telling my husband we will not be hosting for Mother's Day because of his mom?
Oh, I love that one.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
The mother-in-law situations always get
love
messy.
Love that.
All right, this one isn't nearly as long. Okay. My husband, 28-year-old man, and I, 27-year-old female, have been together for about 8 years, and since the beginning, my and mother-in-law's relationship has been rocky. That being said, I get along with his family very well and share my husband's love of hosting parties and gatherings. Recently, there's been a bit of drama in the family due to one of his sisters isolating herself and playing victim, stating no one makes an effort to reach out to her. A couple months ago, for mother-in-law's birthday, my husband had sent out a text to a family chat to invite everyone over. All celebrations and holidays are a potluck in one of the 5 siblings' houses, with the host family doing majority of the work. Despite sister-in-law being in the chat, she complained to mother-in-law that my husband didn't have the decency to invite her. She was in the group chat. She said she would feel like an intruder if she showed up. My mother-in-law called my husband to say he should call his sister to apologize for excluding her and invite her formally. My husband simply said she's in the chat and no one else received anything formal and she was welcome to come like everyone else. The day came and I, of course, did the bulk of the work. Well, my mother-in-law never showed up.
Ooh.
She told another sister-in-law she would not be sharing a meal with someone who blatantly excluded one of her children. We all chose to have a great time and cut her cake ourselves. Her own birthday, I forgot. And treated it like a family gathering instead of a birthday celebration. When everyone left, my husband apologized for mother-in-law's absence and thanked me for everything I did. I honestly felt so heartbroken because why would mother-in-law not think about the effort that was made?
Yeah.
I calmly told my husband we would no longer be celebrating his mom at our house.
Boundaries.
He said he understood. Today he asked if we should invite everyone over for Mother's Day. I immediately said no. Sister-in-law is still behaving the same. Mother-in-law never apologized for what she did, and I refused to have a redo. It was a few months ago, but the way he asked so nonchalantly triggered something in me. I reminded him we would no longer celebrate his mom in our house. He said this wasn't his mom's birthday. I clarified that anything to do with celebrating his mom is off the table. Going out to dinner or taking something store-bought to one of his sister's house for a future birthday of hers is fine, but I will no longer spend hours of my day for her. He asked me for how long, and I said it would be permanent.
Oh.
He asked if I had forgiven her, and I said yes, but those were my new boundaries.
New boundaries, yeah.
He said that's not how it works and accused me of harboring resentment from years ago to make a bigger problem. We ended the conversation with him agreeing we would not be hosting Mother's Day, but he said he felt like I was being petty. I might be, but the more I think about it, the more I feel like I'm not wrong for this boundary. So am I the asshole?
Are you the asshole? I don't think so. My gut says no asshole.
The verdict is not the asshole.
Not the asshole. I think there's such a lot in there. And once you start just poking around in family dynamics and stuff, there's a lot of probably backstory that we obviously don't know and that have probably played into her final decision about her boundaries.
Exactly. This is probably not the first time.
No.
And based on how the sister is acting,
yeah.
it seems they're both kind of this pair that are just very
Yeah.
petty and weird in this way. Because if what I'm reading is right, the group chat included the mom or included the sister and all these people. And then the sister said, I'm not invited, but you were. She was
You're in the group chat.
She wanted special treatment.
Yeah.
a formal one-on-one invitation.
Yeah, yeah.
Then complained to the mom, probably twisted the story.
Yeah.
And the mom, instead of addressing it, just didn't show up.
To her own birthday, right?
Which, yeah, if I'm her, I'm like, why would I do anything else for you again?
If someone doesn't show up and they know it's not a surprise birthday, but it's a birthday and like this one has done, you know, hosting is not easy.
Yeah.
When you're hosting that many people too, you want everything to be just right, especially when it's like mother-in-laws.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it's not just your own family where you can just, you know, you're chill, comfortable and don't have to make an amazing effort.
Yeah.
When it's the in-laws, you want to ramp it up a little bit, you know?
And the wife isn't the issue, it's the mom. Mm-hmm. She's the one who's causing the future hangouts not be a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Not the wife.
Yeah.
Because she's saying, we can still celebrate her. I'm just not putting in the effort to do it because
on my turf.
I got fucked over that one time.
Yeah,
That's a boundary.
Yeah.
Why would I put myself in the same situation?
You have
Fool
to
me
have
once, shame on me. Fool me, you know, that whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
She was right to put the boundaries in. It didn't work out. The husband, he seemed okay with it initially, but then was trying to find a nuance or a way in to get the mother to make it happen in the future. Oh, this isn't her birthday. This is now Mother's Day. I mean, same deal, you know?
Either way, she's saying hosting's off the table.
Yeah, hosting.
Yeah, she's like, we can
That's
go
fair.
do whatever.
Yeah.
My theory with the sister is like she wanted to be included in the planning
Possible.
and felt like this girl who's not even related, her brother's wife, she gets all the credit for this party for my mom. She wanted to be involved in some way, almost like a control thing, I think.
Gotcha. That could be.
So then instead was like, well, you didn't reach out to me personally, so took something and ran with it.
Yeah. There's a lot in there.
So much.
And I think it sounds like there might be years and years of just build.
Yeah.
You know, is it her position to then go and say, let's talk about this? You know, what about that?
I kind of think
or
no.
just let it fester?
I kind of think no, because it's like she seems fine with it, with her boundary. She's not dwelling on this. The wife.
The wife?
She's like, yeah, whatever.
But you know, mum's festering on that.
And it's like, you created the problem and you're the one still festering. I think it's up to you then to solve it.
So the mother should reach out and apologize.
Yeah, if they're the ones still making it a thing and they're the ones who made it a thing in the first place, then I think so. She even says the sister-in-law is still acting the same.
Yeah.
And the mother-in-law never apologized for what she did.
Right.
So
didn't turn up to her own birthday.
I think her main problem is the husband was seemingly like, yep, sounds good. And then so nonchalantly was just like, so we're going to invite her over, right?
Yeah,
and she was like, no. Do you not remember what I said? Like, this is serious. Which is tricky then too.
Now I get that. Now from a dude's perspective, right. Now say that had happened to me. Okay. I'm just playing this through. And, you know, you've got your mum and, you know, she's got a little ways, let's call them.
Yeah.
And this shit goes down. And then Jonette's like, well, I've got my boundaries now.
Yeah.
And this is not happening. It's caught between your mum and your wife. Okay?
Yep, I get that. The thing is, though, to just say it so nonchalantly, like she said, is the problem.
Sure.
Because then it's like, did you not even listen to me?
Yeah.
Bigger problem there.
He just thought that would go away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bigger problem there.
Yeah.
Two is like, I kind of am of the belief of like, you can't pit them against. There has to be a point where you have to support your partner.
Yeah.
And it's not like he doesn't see the way his mom is.
He probably knows.
You have to come to a point where you're like, you got to put your foot down.
Yeah.
And it also comes to a point where usually they're not going to listen to anyone except like their kids.
Yeah.
She is going to just look at this woman as some witch.
Yeah, always.
But if she hears it from her son, that might change things.
Yeah,
he needs to be the one to set these boundaries, not the wife.
Well, let's just say the mother won't want to lose the son.
But then what always happens is they twist it and they're like, she's making you like this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But at the end of the day, the husband is going to support the wife, I would have thought. But he should also then toddle off over to see his mum and go, hey, mum, look.
Yeah. Someone commented and said, then like he should be the one hosting his mom, not you. Why are you the one then putting in all the effort and the work? If he wants her over so bad, he can do all the work.
He put on the thing,
because that's her main problem is I'm not doing all this work
wasting
again.
my time, yeah.
Yeah.
there's a lot of ways, like we can just make it black and white, right?
Yeah.
Binary, and it's like, oh, it's either this or it's this. But
Yeah.
I think, like most things, you can look around the whole problem and find some different solutions.
Yeah.
You know, that perhaps people might be open to.
And there are so many details left out, and like you said, nuances of certain things. There's a phrase in the Reddit universe of unreliable narrator, just someone who tells a story and like purposefully leaves things out. Isn't telling the whole story.
Yeah.
I don't think she's doing that, but who knows?
I mean, why let the truth get in the way of a good story?
Right.
You know, we've got that game, one side through her lens. We haven't got everything else.
Yeah.
But we just said previously when we were talking just then, it's like, you know, when there's a conflict like this, is that there's, you know, it can be a lack of imagination to find the solution. There is something there where everybody can compromise and find a way that suits everybody in the end. I mean, there's nothing worse than a feuding family.
But the issue is always like, if the problem like this is already happening, there probably is like an ego issue.
Sure.
And that shit, you cannot, no solution.
Yeah.
Which sometimes is the solution, is like there's not.
No solution.
Which I think is what she's trying to do, of just like, I know I can't get through to this woman. So
Right.
my solution is like, all I can do is say, not at my house.
Yeah.
Because they're never going to admit wrong or anything like that. So it's just like, there's
Probably not.
no sense in even trying.
Do you think it boils down to you're not good enough for my son?
God, I don't know. I've always wondered. There's so much of that going on right now.
Yeah.
I think more just like awareness of it because of social media and stuff. I see so many, mother-in-laws that are just, and I don't know what it stems from. That or just control ultimately, or just people who have always been the boss in the house, never questioned. Then someone else comes along, maybe makes your son start thinking about things. And then you're like, what? You're pitting him against me. And no, you can't take this away. And they want to morph the brain.
I guess because they've been, you know, they gave birth to this human, and they've been educating, rearing this child, and feeding it the information that this is how I want you to be brought up and live like this, and this is my master plan for you.
Yep.
Then, and let's call it the son, is probably, you know, thinking for himself anyway and wants to do things in his way. But we have a partner on board. And they're the ease, because the mother isn't going to blame the son.
No.
The mother is going to blame this new influence.
Yep.
You know, the new partner is like, oh, well, this is your fault.
Yeah.
Easy.
Which in reality doesn't take much to get to the actual truth of, they wouldn't be attracted to this kind of person if they weren't already thinking like this person.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Someone who thinks exactly like you isn't going to go for this person that you hate.
Yeah.
So they must not think exactly like you.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's not that hard to come to that, but they just don't want to let go.
No.
But it is interesting. I find it is more so moms with sons than it is. Like moms don't do this with daughters as much, I don't think, about the boyfriend.
So what's usually, because I've never had the experience of that. What's typical there?
What do you mean?
Like the mother's attitude to the boyfriends.
Maybe they just don't approve.
Okay.
They want better for them or something, but it's never like weird calculated things like this. You know, where like the mom is like, I don't know, it's almost like a woman against woman competition that they're seeing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm a better homemaker than you.
Yeah.
And you'll never be as good of a wife and a mom as me.
Makes more sense.
Yeah.
Especially if the mother has been the main female influence in that life.
Yeah.
Then you've got another female coming in, and it's like, oh, no.
Mixing
we
it
don't
up.
do it like that.
Yeah.
We don't do it like that. No, what you're doing, no.
The problem is moms that are like that typically breed really big mama's boys.
Mama's boys, yeah.
That are never going to put the foot down. And, you know, they're just used to getting walked all over by her, which sucks for the then wife. It's like, I just want your support. Hello.
Now, my mum was very open to, you know, Johnette. You know, Johnette was like way different because she was from a different country.
Right.
And she was bringing in, you know, different ways, interesting things that you know, none of us, you know, different ways to think. And she definitely made me think in different ways that I hadn't thought of before.
Yeah.
And mum maybe agreed or just didn't agree with some of these new thoughts that I had.
Yeah.
But she was supportive either way.
Right.
You know?
That's what it comes down to with so many things, I think. It's like
She
you
saw I was
just,
happy.
yeah, you just got to love your kid
Mm-hmm.
for no matter how they are.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
support them. Like you said, you just want them to be happy.
Yeah. If that's, I mean, that's the end game, isn't it?
Yeah.
You want your kid to be happy. That should be it.
Yeah. You can't control everything forever.
No.
Your goal is to get them to an adult and then
That's your job.
that's it.
Release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't keep puppeteering forever.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. I ain't got any. Mine's all theory.
Yeah.
Dang, those are good. Those Reddits.
Yeah. They're fun. You can really
Yeah, they're
get
like
into those for
they're
a
like
while.
teapot on steroids.
I know.
like it.
Like it. Yeah, I guess we can wrap it there.
Let's wrap it.
Let's wrap it up. Okay. Well, yeah, that was
It's quite heavy.
no, that was fun.
Yeah.
we got into some things. All right, guys.
Always love that.
Well, next week, stay tuned. Episode 20.
The big 2-0.
The big 2-0.
20.
We've hit it.
20's up.
We've done it. Mm-hmm. And sorry for the delay last week. This one should be on time.
Yeah, this one will be out tomorrow.
Yeah. Immediately. Well, okay, here comes the outro.
Do it. Do it.
As always, you can follow us on Instagram at Tea and Toasties Pod. Subscribe to the YouTube at Tea and Toasties. Like, comment, leave the reviews on your platforms. Listen anywhere you get your pod. That's about it.
Yeah.
And
So
Rick?
where does that leave us saying?
Leaves us to...
Talk at you. Come on.
All right, here we go.
3, 2, 1.
We'll talk at you next week. And TTFN.
Ladies.
Bye-bye.